Welcome back to Wealthwise Midweek Updates. I try to do this when I can, and I'm not working full time. I'm working full time. Lives on the side. Smash that like button, hit subscribe and notification bell because I can send things out all of a sudden. So you don't want to miss out on updates to the chart. So what are we looking at? Midweek, I did say at the beginning of the week, look out for that fake move, and the fake move was that move upwards on the Bitcoin chart. And let me just see if I can show you the Bitcoin chart on here, where my trade is. As you can see, the trend from Sunday started literally bang on when the market makers came on session. Been about this time, which is UK time. And look at that move. They pumped it straight up during the Asia session, straight up. Even the US session decided to continue the trend, and then it started to come down when the market makers were not so busy. Asia started with a little move up and then continued the trend down, and so did the UK, and then yeah, pretty much. So like I said to you, that was pretty much the fake move. The beginning was that pump all the way up, get people thinking, yep, we're going back up again, we're going to take that money out. Like I said, the red is my plan A, and the yellow is possibility it might take some liquidity above to come back down for the rest. If you hear anything in the background, my kid is outside playing. I might have to go, she needs some knock to come back in again. So this is the Bitcoin chart. At the moment, it's now following my plan A, which was what I thought was most likely to do, whereas plan B was the yellow, which was what was the backup plan should it not go in a direction it was most likely to go. So as you can see, that's what it's doing at the moment. But we are coming around the middle of the week, where they might reverse the trend. It really does depend on their mood. It could be today, it could be Thursday. I've even seen it happen on Fridays, and then they trap people for the weekend. That's what they do. This is the US 500. So obviously my short trade is in there. This is the daily chart. Today it's moving up again, but still hasn't quite gone past this resistance. You can see what I've drawn here, which is likely to come up and come back down again. It's pretty much what it is doing at the moment, and we'll just keep an eye on that. With regards to traditional market, haven't been reversed yesterday, pumping a little bit, but we'll see what it does. Likelihood it's probably going to come down. Wall Street indexes rise ahead of Fed's interest rate verdicts. Obviously, they've got the Fed interest rates decision today. So we've got the Fed press conference tonight, which brings a lot of volatility. I'm happy because I've got my trades all in, everything, not all in, as in money-wise, but my trades are still in. I'm doing my longs, I'm doing my shorts. I've got both ways open. I've got my Bitcoin short. I've got my second entry to go back in on Bitcoin again. Should it wick up to 121k? I doubt it, but that's my second entry. But I'm still happy holding my shorts. FOMC economic projections and the Fed rate decision. This is UK time. Today they had the housing information and building permits. It hasn't really affected the market too much, but yeah, here we go. The S&P at the moment is on the up. Now it's showing an upward move. They know it's a Fed meetings today. That could be their way of enticing you to think it's going to be good news and it's going to be what you want to hear, but ultimately they could also reverse it and get you all excited. So just don't believe the candles. We'll see what they do, and probably best to turn off your charts, turn off the news, and ignore it, because quite frankly, it's just an excuse to move it in the direction they want to move it. So as I said, looking at the trades, I've got the SPX trades. Hope you can't hear the dog in the background. SPX trades here still going. I'm still holding this. It's just over there because I wanted to see where it's moving. As you can see, I'm still holding this short, and I've got this long. How many entries I've got? It's down to the ones now because I was able to take 50% and 150% on that. I think my daughter's at the door. Just bear with me. Close the door. More people coming in. Close it. Okay, apologies for that. So yes, SPX trade still going well. I've taken profits as I've gone along. I've got a pretty good win rate at the moment. It's sitting at 93%. That's pretty good. So it's two losses out of 29 trades that have been closed. That's pretty good dynamic. If you look at my 7-day win rate, is 100%. So far, this kind of trading is showing profitability. So yeah, I enjoy it, quite frankly. So this SPX still running with this at the moment, long and short. The short is in the green at the moment. Hyperliquid, people love this. They absolutely love this. See, I had a little pump up and down again. I reduced my margin on this one just because I didn't like it. I didn't like the 3 entries. Now I'm back down to a 1 entries, and how much money is into it, which is 1% of the capital in those funds. Still got it set here for the 150% on half, to take half the money back, and I'm quite happy to re-enter the shorts as I go along. Hyperliquid is quite a nice one to trade. If I zoom out to the daily chart where I drew this triangle here, still a lot of room for it to come back down to these levels here, which is the triangle. It's a bullish triangle, but a triangle nonetheless, which we like to look at. So here we go. I've got a feeling it is going to come and touch here. If I get 3 greens in a row, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, I will be closing my short and enjoying adding into the long. So I'll be re-entry to long here, which will be the 2nd entry, and then we'll bring my entry down to here. See how this works? You're moving with the charts. That's how you end up staying in profit as much as possible. Uxlink, yep, I've still got this running at the moment. I've got 2 entries still into the long, 1 entry showing in the short. Yes, I obviously took the half profits there, of course, and it's still in the green. Now, if I zoom in here, I had a higher low before the lower high, so it doesn't count this one. Now I've got a higher high. That really depends if it prints a higher low. I doubt it, because this is wicked below the higher low. So it's going to be a little bit of chop, but that's okay. I'm still holding this. I'm quite happy with that trade. So let's have a look at Hood, Robinhood. Started to have another move up. My entry is here. With my 3rd entry into this trade, mainly because I just can't keep going up forever. I know it's going to come down. It is still on the cards. There is gaps to fill here and here, maybe a slight gap here as well to be filled. Obviously, we need to look out for this level here. It will be this next line of resistance, which is fine, because if this hits here for a re-entry, then my average entry will be around here. And I'm very tempted to move that up there, but do I see it going up to that point? No, I mean, the volume is starting to reduce. The stochastic momentum indicator has been at the top far too long. See what happens here. It's up there too long. It comes down and you get a good reversal. Again here, yep, that's not quite the same, but it's not as high as here and as there. So yeah, so it should be coming down. It's not quite following the trajectory of Bitcoin or the market makers, but I think with today, with everything that's happening in the meetings and stuff, then it's probably going to cause it to come down. Silver trade, slight pullback today. Not bothered. It's really going to just silver. So I'm holding that forever and a day. I'm not letting this one go like I did gold back in 2002. Yep, I would have been in flipping great profits right now. So I'll be holding silver till it goes to like crazy price. So it's palladium, the same. Look at that, had a pullback last few days, and now it's recovering. China Automotive Systems today started to move back up again. I'm really happy with this trade. It's what I like about it too is it's now staying above the indicator. The difference between this trade and the commodities trade is this one I'm more likely to close if it does come back below this indicator here. If it comes back below the indicator, closes a couple of days below it, then I'll probably close the trade. But for now, as long as it stays above higher highs and higher lows, I'll happily ride it up here. But if it gives me these 3 of these in a row, then I'll probably close it as well. All right, so I want to have a look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA's in the zone. I drew out for you a few videos back. This is the zone I'm looking at to put a short in, basically, because this is the weekly charts. On the daily, got 1, 2, 3, got 4 gaps to fill on the way down to here. This is the midway point, and this is the support area here. Okay, this is where I see it going. I could open a trade here, but ultimately I really want it to go up here. But it's in my trading zone. We'll see how it reacts in this area before I decide to take that short trade. So I'll keep an eye on that one every single day. Microsoft, spoke about Microsoft. It's moving. This is the area I wanted it to stay above. It stayed above on that weekly. See if this weekly candle closes above, and I will be looking at this area up here in the parallel channel and looking at possibly shorting it from up here. So keep an eye on what it's going to do between here and here, basically. There's a nice big gap down here to fill on the daily, so it's very, very appealing at the moment. What else have we spoken about? I spoke about this recently. So there we go, a nice green candle. Is it going to close this gap? Possibly. See how it reacts up here on the daily. Around here, I'd really like it hits this line here to definitely put in a short trade. Really, really do. But I see it coming here, and possibility it could come down because this is pumped quite quickly off the back of Bitcoin, because Meta Planet's been buying Bitcoin, and that's why people have been FOMOing into this. So I do see more possibility of it coming back down. So we've got a gap here to fill, got a gap here to fill as well, and this one here, some gaps on the way down. Let me mark those gaps. Obviously got this big gap here to fill, gap here, got this gap here, and this gap here. So there's a few gaps to fill on the way down on the daily chart. So I'll keep an eye on that, because I'd love to give that a nice short trade. So have a look at this other one. Look at that, beautiful. You'd have got into that trade when I first started my video. You'd be in some nice profits, sitting at the moment 15% on 5x. That's 5 times 15. It's 45% in your pocket. Where else can you get that kind of money? Not in any high interest savings accounts anywhere. Didn't get past resistance, a nice little M formation, and it's on its way down. I'm gutted I didn't have funds in there at the time, but I'm happy for all of you. We'll keep an eye on this one as well. Didn't quite get to this area here, and it's performing an M formation. So what do I see this one doing now? Most likely will come down here, which would be an area of support. So keep an eye on that one. I'd probably short this right now, but I've got the funds in there to do it, but I would probably short this right now. At the moment, I'm committed to Robinhood trade, but if I was to put a short in, I'd definitely put the market trade in there. Second entry above this lower high, and I'd probably trade it down to here. So that'd be a nice trade for you to get into if you feel like doing it. Remember, 1 to 2% of your capital per trade, and then the same amount of money in the margin to enter on the second entry here. And I'd probably put this as my third entry at the top of resistance. So your average entry should be around here. And it will come back down to earth, but at the moment it's forming a nice M shape as far as I'm concerned. So keep an eye on that one. And QUBT, staying above this area here, slight pullback, ultimate target is here before I even think about taking any shorts on that one. We spoke about TGT, sitting around here, hasn't quite found its way down to these levels. I'd long it from down here. I'm not going to touch it here at the moment. So just keeping an eye on that one as well. I think that was everything that we were keeping an eye on, wasn't it? Yeah, it was, with regards to the traditional markets. Guys, girls, everyone else, there's so much money to make in this market. You just got to know what you're looking for. All right, let's see what the Financial Times are talking about. What's the big news today? Oaktree co-founder Howard Marks calls on China to open up to foreign investors. Distressed debt specialist outlines upbeat view of world's second largest economy. It's pretty much a no man's or no person's news there. It's a bit boring, to be fair. If I'm quite honest with you. Don't really know what that's supposed to do. I really don't. Brussels proposes revamp of controversial securitization rules. European Commission suggests cutting minimum risk rates after pressure from industry and former ECB President Mario Draghi. Cutting minimum risk weights after pressure. I guess that could be seen as a bit of FOMO news, get people wanting to buy. And then the market makers will just reverse it on you. US exceptionalism in markets is diminished but far from dead. FOMO news. Also looking on the little news. So China's central bank chief expects new currency order to challenge dollar. It's bearish against the dollar. Era of bond scarcity is over, says German. Okay, there's a bit of FOMO news going on, which tells me that they're most likely going to go the other way. This one's difficult to determine. I don't really understand what that's all about. So Iranian crypto exchange Nobitech hacked for $90 million by suspected Israeli group. It's great, isn't it? Great propaganda there. Suspected Israeli group. Why? Because obviously the war in Israel and Iran. Let's blame Israel. Latest news, what have we got here? Bahamut. Blockchain, a new playbook for validator incentives. FOMO. Bitcoin accumulator better fit for corporates than dollar cost averaging strategy. FOMO. Crypto Daybook Americas. Bitcoin holds the line as Trump labels Iran leader easy target. Again, it's a false sense of security. It really, really is. It's a false sense of security. There's really nothing here. It's all keeping you a little bit interested so you don't lose while they are pretty much reversing things still. There we are. Yeah, still in a reversal stage. It's all rubbish, really. It's all rubbish. You can only go by what the charts are telling you, what the charts are trading. That's how it sort of looks. Let's have a look at the trades. Funds. In Blowfin, here you go. So hype short, 43% up. Hype long, 166% down. Don't care, because I'm going to add to it, and then I'll take the profits when it goes back up. If you remember the other day, this was in the red massively. Remember? This was a tiny bit red. This was in the red massively. It came down. If this was looking at $80 on the margin, I've reduced it. Took 5% profit, no, 10% profit, sorry. I've took it, secured it, and now I can, if it was to go back the other way, I can re-add to that, and then I'll just build on my shorts again, moving my entry up higher. SPX long, 64% down, don't care, because look, I can add more. The short is 164% in profit. Happy days. That was, took my halves on that already, and that was double the entry. So that's pointed back down to one entry. Arcsync long, 195% in the red. Don't care. It's going to add again when it hits my target to add into that trade and bring my entry down further. Arclink short, 262%. It's already taken its 150% or half the margin. Bitcoin's still running 111%. But look at this. When I reduced my margin on the hype short, look at liquidation. Flew far, far away. It's not going to get there. It's not. So I'm relaxed. I'm chilled. I'm not greedy. I am not fearful. I'm just enjoying the ride. SPX is $1.38. Liquidation $79. It's not going to happen before I take profits. It's not going to happen. No liquidation levels on Uxlink. $2 million price of Bitcoin liquidation. That's how you do it, folks. That's why you only trade 1 to 2% of your capital per trade. This is the other one. Obviously, Robinhood's gone up a little bit, so we're in the red. Do I care? Nope. I'm not fussed at all because I've got funds to cover that. Silver's up nicely. Palladium's back up again, and China Automotive Systems is down slightly today, but that's fine. Like I said, if it goes down, if I get those, if it breaks down below that indicator, then I'll be closing at that point. All right. Well, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this session. As obviously I talked about the beginning of the week and how it sort of works and what to look out for. We're now in a midweek midweek area, which is likely to be midweek reversal, will go back up again. Just got to be patient, look out for the signs and wait. It might reverse today. Maybe FOMC will be the excuse to reverse it as a midweek today, or it could happen tomorrow. FOMC meeting might be more of an excuse to bring it down a little bit and clear the liquidation levels here, because there's a lot of money sitting here. I mean, a lot of money. Take it down to the higher 96k level. Yeah, and then bounce it back up again. Build some liquidity here, maybe, and it's building liquidity up here because it's obviously people are going to be short heavy. This is the Bitfinex chart for shorts. Is it shorts? Yeah, shorts. As you can see, we are short heavy. Shorts have gone up 17%, and this is the Bitcoin longs. Longs are down, so that tells you that's also a good place to look. Gives you an idea of market trajectory. Yeah, if that helps in any way, shape or form. All right, so I'll tell you what, I will leave it there. I'm not going to bore you any longer. Please smash that like, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, so I do send things out. It can be quite time sensitive. I hope you've enjoyed this. It gives you an idea of some learning, some education this week. Monday showing you what the fake move can look like, how the markets can play. Look out for that from 9 p.m. on Sundays UK time, as it's 5 p.m. US New York time, and whatever it is will be for you, the Asia time. Work it out for yourselves. I don't know what the clock is. And then Asia will continue that fake move up to a certain point, but it could also continue over all 3 sessions. Sometimes it could just be the Asia session. Sometimes it can go into the UK and UK reverse to the real trend. Sometimes US does it, but they do keep you on your toes. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Telegram group, link description below. Don't forget to go in there, and I'm sending stuff out on Twitter as well. If you're following my trades, if you've been following everything I've been doing, you should be in some profits. You should be making money. I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. See you all in the next video. Bye-bye.